Are you new to Say Heroes or a returning veteran wanting to get more information about the Corruptor archetype in the game? I'm Controlled Chaos, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about their power sets, how to best play them, and how to best slot their enhancements. Let's get started. First off, the Corruptor is a lot like a warlock in pen and paper role-playing game. You do damage, you debuff the enemies, and you buff your allies. Now, some of the power sets in the game are things like Dark Masma, where you debuff the enemy's attack chances, how often they're able to hit you, things like that. You're able to slow them down, you're able to steal their health, you're able to take their health and res your allies. You're able to do a lot of really cool things with Dark Masma. Another good power sets that you have is you have dual pistols, which is your damage dealing. You have things like radiation, which reduces their abilities to attack and take damage and things like that, and then also heal your allies. You have other really cool abilities such as lightning attacks, so you're reducing their endurance. And then you have abilities like storm summoning, where you can do gales of wind and knock enemies back. You can call up snowstorms and really cool stuff like that. So there's a lot to do in this. Now, one thing that makes the Corruptor different from the Defender is actually there's two things. One, as a Corruptor, your primaries are attacks. Your secondaries are your debuffs and your heals. So you're putting a lot more offense out there. You're still as squishy, but that's okay because you're debuffing the enemy a lot for a lot of these, unless you choose something like empathy or other ones like that, where it's mainly heals and buffs for your allies. The other thing that's really interesting about the Corruptor is you no longer do crit hits. Instead, you do a scourge hit, and these scourge hits are really cool because it does double damage. You'll see two numbers pop up instead of one, and then another one with a bit more damage but not as equal amount. So if you do 10 damage on them, you'll see another 10 pop up right next to it. It's really nice, really cool. Now, when playing the Corruptors, you want to make sure that when you attack and you start your attack, you want to do your debuffing of your targets first. And a lot of the abilities, it spreads to the enemies. That's the whole entire great thing about the corruptions, is it just sort of spreads out, which is nice. And in that effect, when you do these debuffs, especially on some of them like poison, when you use poison and you debuff, you reduce their defense and the amount of damage that they can do. You also get one that reduces their accuracy and cool things like that that just really add to the abilities in what you can do. This makes it so you're taking less damage. You're also able to do more damage, and if you're in a team, your teammates are able to do more damage, taking out the enemy so much quicker. Now, let's move on to enhancements. When enhancing, as normal with your attacks, you want to put a lot of accuracies, and you want to put a lot of damage on to your attacks. If you have any secondary abilities, such as the Dark Masma, where it reduces their accuracy, you want to slot those with accuracy reductions. So pay attention to what your secondary is, such as with Cold. With Cold, you can slow your enemies down with your attacks, so you want to put the slow slots in there. With your secondaries, for your debuffs, you want to put the debuffs on there. You want to make sure to have the accuracies on there to make sure that they land too. And different ones will have different debuffs, so you want to read what they do. So for the ones that slow, you want to put slow. For the ones that debuff their defense, you want to put debuff defense. For the one that put for debuffing the 2-hit, you want to put the debuffing 2-hit, things like that. For the ones that are like the heals and the buffs, you want to put in your heals, you want to put in your buffing, enhancing the defenses, or chances to dodge, things like that you want to add in. On top of that, with these abilities, some of them you want to put quicker recharge times on them if you want to be able to keep your allies safe and also quickly debuff your enemies. And so overall, this is how you play Corruptors. They are great for soloing, even better with teams, because even if you're playing a Corruptor with the abilities to debuff, you're still a great value to the team because you're making everyone else's job of doing damage a lot easier. So if you found this helpful, please like the video, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Have a great day.